everybody. So we are at the next entry in our Disney Canon rewatch, and we are looking at 1999's film Dinosaur. And this film, I'm probably not going to have that much to say about it. This film was my least favorite on the initial rewatch that I did because I found it very boring and very preachy. And on this rewatch, I still kind of found it that way. It may not be my least favorite. We will see how that goes. But it's definitely in the bottom 5 for sure. This movie has something's good about it, so we'll talk about that. But overall, it feels like an indulgent kind of experiment with the technology more than a satisfactory film. The film was really sort of groundbreaking at the time because it had all CG, realistic looking dinosaurs with actual filmed backgrounds. And if you want to see that done really well with filmed backgrounds and CG characters, watch the minuscule The Valley of the Lost Ants. So much better of a story and so much better of a look to it and everything like that. But they start out, the trailer was really like just the first 5 minutes of the film, and it's lush and beautiful, and you see this pterodactyl flying through the sky and with this egg, and the egg holds our lead character in it and ends up getting dropped amongst all of these lemurs, or these monkeys as they're called in the movie. And the mama monkey, kind of like Tarzan, ends up deciding to raise this dinosaur. He ends up being named Aladar. And the very first kind of act of the movie, I guess, you get to meet Zini, who is the love monkey. And they say that a lot, and I don't know, it's just a little too modern. It just doesn't work, like compared to The Land Before Time, which I reviewed on Sunday, which is just very sincere and made for kids. This is trying to be funny and trying to be hip, and that just doesn't work as well as just being sincere and sweet. And so there's this whole like mating ritual that they go through, but then soon as that is kind of done, there is this, and it's really beautiful. You really get these lush, gorgeous settings that they filmed. And there's this asteroid that comes down and destroys everything, and then they end up going to this desert land, and they have to go through this bleak desert to get to the Great Valley, kind of like in Land Before Time. But the difference between that and this is that Land Before Time still feels somewhat visually interesting, but the thing with this is that you've just gone from this lush, beautiful, real-life background to this really bland, boring background. And so you lose all of the specialness of having these CG characters and having the live-action background, because it looks boring. There's nothing to it. And so the specialness of the movie isn't really monopolized very well because of that. And so then you get this, they end up meeting these other dinosaurs, Aladar and the lemurs, and there are these there are these raptors who are constantly trying to like pick at sort of the pack of these dinosaurs. So this lead dinosaur named Kron, he's stupid. He's a stupid dinosaur because he has this whole like survival of the fittest. He's like a Darwinism guy. And yet somehow that means that he's gonna work everybody beyond their abilities, and he doesn't care. Like if the older dinosaurs die, then it doesn't matter because it's survival of the fittest. Well, that's really stupid, because if the raptors are gonna come, wouldn't it make sense to have sort of a big enough group that those could be kind of picked off? Otherwise you're gonna be more vulnerable if you are. If your group is smaller, then you are going to be more vulnerable to the raptors. So this Carnotaurus, who you see at the beginning of the film, and then you see towards the end of the film. So there's sort of 3 villains, I guess, in this movie, but you don't care about any of them. And the raptors look horrible. That is the worst CG in the movie for sure. And I don't think that any of the dinosaurs really look that good. I mean, if you compare to like the way the more sort of real combined with CG in like Jurassic Park, which would have been in 94 and this was 99, and it looks way better. But they wanted to use all the CG because they could, and they were just sort of testing out this experiment. And I don't know. I actually think I looked at the McDonald's toys of Dinosaur, and I think they look significantly better than any dinosaur that you get on the screen. They have more edges, they have more color, they have more they look better than anything you get here. And the whole specialness of this movie is that everything looks so good, you know? And so if it doesn't really even look that good, and I know I'm looking at it from a modern perspective, but other Disney movies that were experimental hold up very well visually, and this one just doesn't. And so I don't feel like I can give it a pass because we've improved on the CG. No, they have a responsibility to make a movie that looks good and that holds up, and that, you know, so anyway, I it's not like horrible as far as the look, but it just doesn't look anything special, and that's what's supposed to be special about this movie. And like I said, the raptors look horrible. But anyway, it's just such a boring story of them like walking and Kron being, you know, preaching to them about the survival of the fittest. And then there's this love story for Aladar that exists only as a love story. She's a very boring character. And Nira is her name. You hardly see her at all. And yeah, I really don't have that much more to say to it. I mean, the voice casting, I guess, is fine. Yeah. And I don't know, there's just nothing that I really like that much about it, except for maybe that beginning 5-minute kind of scene, and maybe those two old dinosaurs are sort of fun. I give Dinosaur a D-, because I'm not going to give it an F this time, just because it has a few little things, I guess. It's not a total train wreck, but it's not good. It's not good. So I give it a D-, but I don't really like it. So let me know what you think of the Dinosaur. Do you like it? And thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you later. Bye.